Hey, this is Don from Padlock Technologies again with another video. This time we're going to talk about QoS in the service provider environment. Now, there are two things you need to understand from a fundamental level before you even understand any of the concepts at the service provider level. So, first thing you need to know is QoS at the enterprise level. You don't know anything about MQF, which is Modular Queuing Framework, or MQC, which is Modular Queuing Command Line. It's just a pretty way to say class map and policy map. You need to know that first because if you don't know that, you just won't get anything in the service provider side. And then you need to know MPLS. Now, if you don't know anything about MPLS, I did do a video. I'll put a card up here. I'll put a link in the description for MPLS fundamentals because you need to know that as well because we're going to play with a specific part of the MPLS, packet. We're going to play with I think it's the experimental bytes actually. We're going to play with that. And if you don't know anything about that, watch the MPLS fundamental video where I go over the actual makeup of an MPLS label there. All right. So, first things first, I do have a favor from you. If you like videos like this and you like deep dives into technology, please don't forget to share, comment, like, and subscribe. Got a lot of people coming to the channel. Channel's growing. Appreciate every subscriber I get. And again, if I'm here to help you guys, I'm just going to ask if you can help me by giving it a like, thumbs up, whatever you got to do. Put some comments in there, and then tell a friend to tell a friend. All right. So now let's get into the whiteboard or blackboard, whatever you want to call it. And we're going to go over the theory, and then you're going to see a lab where I'm going to go over all three of the types of QoS techniques in service provider environments, which are going to be unified mode or uniform mode, sorry, pipe and short pipe. But first, let's go over the theory here. All right. So blackboard, we're going to go over theory, and we're going to talk about MPLS at the service provider level, okay? Or MPLS SP QoS. Let's put it like that. All right. So what we are doing here is remember, I'm gonna give you a little brief review. So we got our label here, the MPLS stuff. So 20 is the label, right? 20 bytes are the label. Then we have the experimental bits, which are 3. Then we have the bottom of the stack, right? Which is 1. Then we have the TTL, which is 8, which if you do the math is 32, right? Now the QoS in the service provider network, we're playing around with this right here, the experimental bits. And in the service provider network, at least on the Cisco side here, we are going to be messing with the IP precedence, right? Because you can't do DSCP in the service provider network. So you can only go from, at least in the Cisco world, I don't know how they do it anybody else, it's 0 to 7, right? That's what you can either put on the label, swap the label, you can copy it from the top label, all that good stuff. Now, there are a couple rules here that you need to understand. When traffic, let's say here's your CE, and then here's the PE here, right? PE, CE. Now, when it hits the PE, what ends up happening is if you're sending something with a marking in it, that marking gets copied to every label that gets pushed onto it. So we have our service label. I'm gonna say service label, and let's say we got a transport label. So what happens, let's say you're technically sending this with an IP precedence value of 5. Let's just say 5 equals 5. Now, when you push the labels on top, that gets copied here. So in the EXP, you'll see 5, and then in the service label, you'll see 5, okay? And as it moves along in the network, this will just get copied over. Now, what happens with it, since MPLS by default does an implicit null, right? What ends up happening is once you get to the egress PE, the PHP process happens. So PHP is penultimate hot popping. So it pops off this label. So let's say for some reason it changes within the network the service provider network, and this 5 now becomes a 3. Well, the service label is still have the 5 in there. So when it pops off this label, you will not be able to make any policies based on this 3 because it got popped off because of the implicit null. Now you can do an explicit null, and I'm going to explain the difference between the two here. And now in the service label, you still have that 5 there. And then obviously you have the 5 in the IP packet. So if we got a packet here, let's say you still have the 5 there, right? And depending on what mode you're going to use is going to depend on what marking you're going to use. So in the unified, that's uniform. I keep calling it unified for some reason. So let's talk about uniform mode. So in the uniform mode, what you're basically doing is you're taking the SP markings and you're making a policy based on the SP marking, right? So we have a simple network like this, and this is how it actually, I have it in the lab. We got some PEs here. We're going to say this is the PHP, right? So this is the penultimate, and then this is the ultimate. What happens? Marking comes in here. Let's say the 5. We take that same marking, we don't do anything, and we push it up to that P router. It's a 5. For some odd reason, something changes, makes it a 3 at the top label. The service label is still a 5. And then the IP packet is still a 5. So when the PHP process happens, this label here, the top label, gets removed. And then what you see is from a VPN label standpoint, it's 5 and 5, if that were to happen. Now, what you would do, now there's 2 ways to do this. You can do explicit null and implicit null. I'm going to go over that in a lab a little bit more because if I do it in theory, it doesn't make any sense. At least for me, I never got it until I saw it in the lab. But we're just going to go with implicit null by default. What you would have to do at the penultimate router is copy this value into the buffer via a QoS group. All right, so you'd copy that value of 3. And then you would match that value on your outbound policy map, and then you're going to set it to the same QoS group. So basically what you're doing is taking out this 5 and you're copying 3 down, okay? Then as it gets to the last router or the ultimate router, before this router pops it off, and this is with implicit null, it's still let's say it's a 3 and a 5, right? That's what it looks like there. Now, before this ultimate router pops it off, it does the same copy. So what you're going to do, you have to manually do this, by the way. It doesn't do it automatically. That's rule number, I would say there's a couple rules, but rule number in the book, MPLS Fundamentals, I think it was rule number 5, which is basically when, like EXP values or QoS markings it doesn't automatically get pushed down to the bottom label. So if you have your transport label and your service label and they're 2 different labels, like I said, once it pops off, it doesn't automatically copy it down to the next top label, which in this instance would be the service label. You have to manually do that with this QoS group and then copying it into the next label, right? So that's your VPN label. When it gets here, what you have to do is do the same QoS group concept. So you take that 3 value and you put it in the QoS group 3. And then you would copy that down into the IP packet. So this will now become a 3. And then your policy or your QoS outbound policy will be based on this number and not the initial 5, right? Because you're using the service provider marking, and this is the ingress. Let me put that in there. The service provider marking made it a 5, and then it got changed to a 3 somewhere in the service provider network. And then you want to make your final outbound policy based on the 3 and not the 5 that's in the packet, right? Ultimately in the IP packet. So you're going to end up copying those markings down all the way to the VPN label. I'm going to say this is the service label. And then the IP packet here will eventually get that 3, right? And then your outbound service policy. The service policy will be based on the three. And you can do whatever you want to do at that point. So that's uniform mode. You're basically changing the marking somewhere if that should happen in your service provider network, and then you're basing your outbound policy based on that marking, based on the full service provider marking. Now, I will show you implicit and explicit in the lab, and then we'll go over that. Now, the next one here is pipe mode. So pipe mode kind of does the same thing, but you're really not copying anything down from the top label per se. You're just going to make the marking based on the service label at this point. Or if you did implicit, but if you did explicit, that top label wouldn't get popped off. It'd just be swapped with a label 0, which is the explicit null label, and then you would make your policy based on that. But again, that was confusing when I first learned it, and I never got it to a seat in the lab. So just remember that. So when we go to the labs, you'll see the explicit label part. So we're gonna have the same thing here, same network. All right, packet comes in to 5. We impose it on all the labels by default. That's the default rule. So this is a 5. Never got changed. So this is a 5. When it gets to here, we have the PHP process happens. So that top label disappears. So it will technically, when it gets here, it looks like this: 5 for the top label or the service label, 5, sorry, for the transport label, 5 for the service label, 5 for the IP packet. Once it gets here to the penultimate router and it gets popped off, it will look like service label 5 and then IP packet 5. Now here's the difference though. When you get to, I'm gonna use yellow, you get to this router, the ultimate router, your QoS policy outbound is not based on the markings in the IP packet. So what you would technically do is the same QoS, you would match that marking in the label. So you would match this marking here in the label. And then you'd have your service policy based on that label. And how that would work is once it comes inbound, once it comes down this way, what you would do is you would do the same QoS group. So you would match the 5, you would match 5, and match that value in that service label. And then you would set it to a QoS group 5 of 5, right? Now, in the service policy going outbound, you would say match QoS group 5 and then do something, right? You know, could be priority, could be some bandwidth, could be whatever you want, but you're not matching anything in the IP packet here. Because remember, this is the IP packet. You're not matching based on this, right? So let's say this wasn't a 5. Well, it would have to change somewhere in the network. So I'm gonna keep it as a 5. But technically your policy is not based on the IP packet here, right? So that's pipe mode. And really the difference between uniform pipe and short pipe is really at the egress. So this dictates, the egress router dictates what mode you're actually using, right? And then the last one is short pipe. So on short pipe, what we're doing is we're actually basing our policy by the marking in the customer IP packet. That's what it is basically in a nutshell, right? So we have the same network. All right. This came in as a 5 because we marked it at the customer as a 5. This went to that P router, and that was a 5. But it would look like this. So we have the transport 5, service label 5, IP packet 5. And it would move through the network the same way. So when it moves this way, basically the swap happens, but it still keeps the value, the QoS value. So when it gets to here, it's 5, transport, service 5, IP packet still says 5. PHP process happens here. So now this turns into service label of 5 and IP packet of 5. But then when it gets to this router here, that pops off the VPN label, and then you just have the IP packet with the, in this example, with the IP precedent of 5, and then your service policy is based on the customer marking. Customer marking and not the service provider marking. So you're basically doing all your whatever, bandwidth priority, whatever you're doing, it's going to be based on the original customer marking, whereas pipe and uniform mode is based on the service provider marking. That's the difference between the three, right? Now, the only one that can change the customer marking is uniform. Everything else does not change the underlying IP packet, which is the customer IP packets QoS markings. Doesn't change it. And that's really it. So that was a brief overview of QoS for service provider. If you have no idea or you're confused about what just happened, don't worry about it. The labs will make it make way more sense, but you need to at least go over the theory to kind of understand what is happening underneath the hood. If you don't understand this theory, go back and watch this again. Again, the assumption here is you have knowledge about QoS. If you don't, have to get knowledge of QoS. If you don't know anything about MPLS, you need to watch my video about MPLS fundamentals, and then you need to read the book MPLS Fundamentals. It's a great book. It's a little dry, but it will definitely give you a broader understanding of MPLS as a whole. And I think they did a little bit of they didn't do it enough justice because they said fundamentals. Trust me, that book is not about fundamentals. So this is Don from Padlock Technologies. I hope you like this theory video, and you're really going to appreciate this video once you see the lab, because it looks cool in the exam and it looks cool on labs. But if you don't understand the fundamental, knowledge, you don't have that base knowledge, it's all going to be confusing. And trust me, it took me, I would say, 5 cracks at it before I understood it myself. So I hope you enjoyed this video. This is Don from Padlock Technologies again. Thank you, and have a nice day.